All right, let's get right into this. We're looking at a really powerful speech given on South Korea's Independence Movement Day. And trust me, it's not your typical holiday message. It's a deep critique of the present, and it proposes a pretty radical vision for the future.
So the speaker kicks things off by asking a simple but profound question. What are these holidays really for? Are they just about ceremony? Or should they be moments for some serious collective soul-searching about who we are and where we're actually going as a nation?
And that brings us to the first major idea here. It's this concept of transforming these national moments from, simple rituals into a real, serious study of ourselves as a people.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The point is that true patriotism isn't just about showing up and waving a flag. It's something you have to earn by really understanding yourself and grappling with the biggest challenges your country is facing. Okay, so from that philosophical starting point, the analysis takes a really sharp turn. It becomes this unflinching, almost brutal diagnosis of what the speaker sees as a deeply broken and sick nation.
First up, the political scene. It's not described as a place for governing, but as a battlefield for what are called party cartels. Each side is just trying to completely dominate the other, not govern for the people. And in that kind of environment, how can any truly good leaders possibly rise to the top?
And the critique doesn't stop with politics. It then turns to religious institutions. The argument is that they've lost their way, that they've stopped being a moral compass for society, and instead have just become these powerful organizations focused on raising money and growing their own influence.
But here's the real kicker. The speaker says the ultimate problem lies with the people themselves, that there's this widespread failure to really study who we are, what our purpose is. And without that, the entire foundation of society is just weak. There's no direction.
And it all leads to this one absolutely chilling conclusion. The nation's biggest enemy isn't some other country, it's the internal war, the one being fought between all of its own powerful groups.
So if the nation is at war with itself, and no one does anything to stop it, where does that road lead? Well, the warning here is pretty dire.
The speaker uses this incredibly forceful Korean term, 엉망진창. And it doesn't just mean things will be messy, it means a complete, total, unfixable disaster, total chaos. And there's no magic fix coming to save the day. The idea is that you can't just hope for things to get better. Progress, stability, none of that is just handed to you. It has to be earned through incredible, collective effort.
This part is just devastatingly clear about who pays the price for all this. When it all comes crashing down, it's not the powerful leaders or the big organizations who will suffer the most. It's the regular people, the actual owners of the country. They're the ones who will bear the full weight of it.
Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, you might be thinking, is there any hope? Well, this diagnosis isn't without a prescription, and it's a bold one. The speaker lays out a radical new principle designed to pull the entire nation back from the edge.
And the solution boils down to this fundamental shift in how democracy works. You move away from the standard 51% majority rule, which is described here as just a victory by greed that ignores almost half the population, and you move toward a new standard, a 70% rule of national consensus.
So, why 70%? It's not just a random number. It's presented as a kind of law of nature. It's the threshold you have to cross for something to be seen as truly legitimate, the point where a decision actually unites people instead of tearing them apart.
So what does this mean in the real world? It means that for any big decision, a new law, a new president, you'd need such overwhelming support that it would force politicians and ideas to be genuinely good enough to appeal to almost everyone, not just their own narrow base.
But this 70% rule isn't just about changing a number in the voting system. No, it's way bigger than that. It's meant to be the trigger for a complete and total transformation of society.
I mean, just look at this list. The call to action here is massive. We're talking about a top-to-bottom rebuild of every single major part of the nation. Politics, religion, education, the military, all of it. The idea is that the old systems are broken beyond repair and have to be replaced with new, correct principles.
And the speech wraps up with this stark prophecy. The speaker directly connects the physical and spiritual health of every single citizen to this huge national project. The warning is clear. If you don't make the effort, everyone, personally and collectively, will fall apart.
And so, this whole thing leaves us with one massive, lingering question. What does it actually mean to be in charge of your own country? Is it just about winning an election with 51% of the vote? Or does real sovereignty, real ownership, demand something much, much deeper?
a shared, overwhelming agreement on the kind of future you want to build together.